Hello everyone, Perfect Hikari here, and welcome to the second extra video of Kirby 64. In this video, I'm going to be showing you 100% all of the oh, that's cool. It's like in the middle of all of them. I'm going to be showing you every single ability. So then, one moment please. Alright, the first one on our list is Bomb. It's basically, you just throw a bomb. You can throw it at different distances. It's not a half bad ability. It's not my favorite, but it's okay. Next up, we have Double Bomb. This is missiles. Homing missiles, actually. I don't use this one much at all because it's kind of unreliable. Because sometimes they'll home in on they'll all home in on one monster. Sometimes they'll home in on different ones. But basically, you can shoot one quick missile or hold it down to shoot 2 to 3 missiles. Getting the 2 off is just kind of difficult, but yeah, you can do it. Anyway, next up we have Fire. It's basically you turn into a meteorite and you fly. By tapping it again, you can kind of cancel yourself a little bit quicker. Next, we have Double Fire. This turns you into a Fire Phoenix, and it flies for a very long time. The only reason I don't like it is because you don't know when you're going to stop, and you can end up getting hit like that. Next up is Cutter. I always called it Boomerang because of its ability, which is it turns you into a human boomerang. You can't swim, or fly, or do anything basically while your boomerang is out, and it's pretty slow and it doesn't do much, so I don't like it much at all. Next up you have Double Cutter. Double Cutter is basically just a bigger version of the normal cutter, so not much of an improvement. Is Ice. This blows icy cold air all around you, freezing enemies that you can then push into other enemies. That's basically it. I really don't find it that fun. I mean, I guess it can be useful in some situations, but meh. Next up is Double Ice. This turns you into a snowball that basically collects enemies up, and then eventually if it hits something or if you press the button again, will throw them out and kill them. This one can be pretty useful because you can just kind of go like this near enemies and just kind of destroy them. Good for spamming mid-bosses and stuff, or you can just kind of roll through that whole level collecting enemies and then shoot them all out. Next we have Needle. The Needle makes you explode into a ball of needles that kind of pin the enemies and kill them. This one's actually pretty useful, but I don't like it that much. But that's just my personal preference this time, and not really that it's not useful, because it is pretty useful. Double Spike is pretty interesting. It basically just turns you into a mess of different spiky objects. You've got all kinds of stuff there. Pen, pencil, cactus, fork, think that's a sword, yeah. Protractor, and a bee's stinger. So, it might not be super useful, but it's funny. Next up is Spark. It creates a small or medium-sized electricity ball around you. When you're moving, it's smaller, and it's medium-sized when you're just standing there. It's not too bad for dealing with some enemies and bosses. It looks kind of cute, though, doesn't it? Next, we have the Double Lightning. Creates a status ball around you that gets very small as you're moving, but grows to huge sizes when you're just standing around. If you can manage to actually hit an enemy with it, they won't survive for very long. Funny thing to note is it actually shows the height animation for the first Thunder when using it. Don't know, but it doesn't stay. Don't know if that's my emulator doing that or if that's actually the attack. I can't remember really. Look at that tippy-tap dance. The last of the normal abilities, we have Stone. You turn into a ball that can explode, or if you walk, you're a stone Kirby that hurts anything in your path. And you can also still explode. It's pretty slow, unless you're rolling, but still. You're invincible while doing it, though, for most cases, so I guess it is pretty useful. Next we have Double Stone, which is basically the same thing, only on a bigger scale. However, you move a lot faster. So I actually suggest this if you can get a hold of it, because it does make some levels easier. Just if there's a lot of jumping, you could kind of screw yourself over if you use the attack button over a big cliff. Because it does take about a second or two before you can explode. This is where things start to get interesting for me editing. All the different combinations. First up is Bomb and Burning, or Bomb and Fire. This turns you into fireworks. This ability is actually very fun, and it's not very slow, so you can kind of spam it through the levels if you're trying to get through pretty fast. And in most cases, you'll be alright. Maybe when you get to like Neo Star and Aqua Star and Shiver Star, you might have some problems, but for early on, it's pretty good. Next up, we have a personal favorite of mine, actually. The Ninja Star, which is Bomb and Cutter. You throw ninja stars that the enemies don't even see coming. They stick to the enemy, or walls, or ceilings, or whatever, and then explode. This is very fun to use, and you can even spam it in air like that, and just slowly descend. I definitely recommend it if you are able to get Bomb and Cutter at the same time. Next up is Bomb and Ice. I don't like this ability. It looks cute, but I don't like it. You basically turn yourself into a bomb-exploding snowman. That's basically it. You do need it, if you'll remember from earlier in the Let's Play, for a crystal piece in Aqua Star, but that's about it. Other than that, I wouldn't suggest ever getting this. Unless you really like snowmen. Oh, it does freeze people if that doesn't catch them in the complete explosion, but what are the chances of that? Next up, we have Bomb and Spike. This one turns you into one of those flying things. Only you explode and send ice crystals everywhere after a short time. Oops. But yeah, that's about it. You do need that for one of the final crystals of the game, but that's about it. Though, it's not terrible, so if you do want it, might as well get it. Next up is Bomb and Electric. This turns you into a light bulb. That supposedly explodes and, I guess, hurts people. Let's see. Yep, it does. I personally think this is pretty useless, except you do kind of need it to get that one crystal in, what was it? not Neo Star. The last level of Rockstar, yeah. So yeah, that's about it. He still kind of looks cute though, but then again, I say that for most of his abilities. Last up for the bomb abilities is Dynamite. You throw dynamite and it explodes. The explosion is very large, and you will get hurt by it most of the time unless you're using the hard hat, which is activated by pressing down and ducking when you have a bomb out. Be careful because they instantly explode on contact with enemies, so if you're throwing it on an enemy, make sure you have that hard hat on. Or that happens. Alright, next up are the combinations with burning. Or some more combinations with burning, I should say. This is Burning and Cutter, which is the fire sword. You can bring it behind you, or raise it on top, and hit things that way. You can just do a normal slice, but if you have it up, you'll shoot it out like a sword. For those of you who are fans of large sword-like weapons, then this is for you. Me personally, there's another cutter option that's mixed with something else that I like that I'll show in a bit. Next up, we have Fire and Ice, the most useless ability in the game. That's it. There's nothing more to it. If you happen to have an enemy attack, just try and step on you at the same time you're doing this, you might hit them, and they might take damage. Other than that, useless. But then again, what were they really going to do with ice and fire? Next we have Burning Spark. You basically light yourself on fire and then you can run around and hurt enemies that way. Downsides are it takes a while to load, and you can't really do much other than that at the time. It's pretty funny, though. First up for the cutters, we have Cutter and Ice, which has turned you into an ice skater. I personally like this ability because of the little twirling and how fast you go through the levels and stuff. And even those little sparks can actually hurt the enemy, so that's pretty cool. Not sparks, ice crystals, whatever. Look how nimble he is.